Hello, this is Payal Agarwal from Kolkata, India. Namaste. Hello, Namaste, good evening. I'm Payal Agarwal. Welcome back. Everyone who's joined in live on the FOMO No More page, thank you so much. Again, a one pot recipe for your convenience and to tingle your taste buds. We are going to make a very unique recipe today, and I'm going to make it a little differently from how it is normally made. So we are going to be using vermicelli. Okay, so vermicelli looks like this. I have taken the wheat version. There are three versions of vermicelli. It is made of semolina, wheat and rice. For a one pot recipe, I suggest either take wheat or semolina, not rice, because rice, what happens is rice can go lumpy sometimes. Okay, so take either wheat or semolina. Semolina is also a form of wheat only, so high in protein. Okay, so we are going to cook with vermicelli today. A few things that I've taken, I'll show you. So I've got chopped onions and diced potatoes, again dipped in water and kept. As I told you, potatoes high in iron, so always dip it in water and keep for further use. Okay, two small tomatoes I've taken. I have just blended it and made a puree out of it. You needn't blanch it, just normal puree, needn't de-seed it. Just blend it and keep it. Okay, carrots and beans, again diced. Try and dice all the vegetables approximately in the same size so that they cook together in the pan. I've told you earlier, if you take very small pieces, they'll all dissolve and the bigger pieces will stay raw. Try and cut it in the same size. Green peas, my frozen green peas, I had spoken about this to you. So I have a big, during winters in India, we get a lot of green peas. Summers we don't get it at all. So I just take it out of the pod and whack it in a Ziploc, and I put it in the freezer, and it lasts me the entire year. So that, a few spinach leaves washed under running water nicely and chopped finely. So a cup of that, and peanuts, power packed. It comes under the family of legumes, nuts, peanuts, ground nuts. We are going to, I'll tell you all the properties, and we are going to talk about this fantastic, you can eat it raw, you can dry roast it, put a little salt and eat it. You can make peanut butter out of it, put it on your sandwich in the morning, gives you a kickstart, packed full of proteins, vitamin B6, vitamin B9, B3, so a lot of folic acid, very rich source of folic acid, lowers the tendency of heart diseases, they say. So very nice thing to have. Very high in biotin. You know what biotin helps with the nail and hair health. So you get biotin supplements nowadays. So instead of supplements, why not have something natural? So include peanuts in your diet. Make it into a butter, put it on your toast, include it like so in your dishes. Yeah, so a fantastic thing to have. Gives you a lot of energy, full of good fats. So it's a good thing to include in your diet. Okay, and of course the oil is there, the groundnut oil or peanut oil. Get groundnut oil, peanut oil, use it. It's very good for any kind of cooking. So that, coriander leaves, of course, washed and chopped for garnishing. Ginger garlic paste, about a teaspoon. And since today it's a lemon chili vermicelli, I have taken a lot of chili paste. And a few green chilies chopped also along with it. Okay, so I'm going to make it a little fiery today. If you don't like it very fiery, just keep reducing the amount of chilies. Lemon juice, as it is a lemon and chili vermicelli, so lemon juice, this is around 3 small lemons, so lemon juice. Okay, so that, and the drink of course that we are making, the cumin cooler, I'm going to talk about that also as we go along. So let's begin. Okay, pan on, heat on. So I'm going to, as usual, today also I'm going to make it in my clarified butter. You can use, again as I said, you can use groundnut oil, you can use peanut oil. Stay away as much as you can from refined oil. Though I do use a little, in some of the cookings I do use rice bran and olive as I told you. But try and restrict that as much as you can. So I'm taking around 4 teaspoons of clarified butter. You feel that it's a little much, but I'll tell you, we are going to roast the vermicelli first. Take that out, and in the same pan, in the same oil, residual oil, we are going to make the dish. So it's not much. It's for 2 people. So 2 tiny teaspoons per person. Good. Okay, so give it a nice swirl, let it coat the pan. And now immediately before it becomes hot, we don't want it hot, we'll put the vermicelli in to roast it. So the entire vermicelli goes in, and on a low heat, now start roasting it. The moment you start roasting it, you'll see the clarified butter has coated the entire vermicelli threads. And now as the butter starts heating, the vermicelli will start roasting in the butter, and you will get a nutty smell out of the pan, so you know it's done. And it is already, because I've taken wheat, it is already a little light brown. I'll show you. The moment it's done, it will change color. It will become a little darker. Okay. So now on a medium high, not very high. As I told you, we don't want it becoming bitter. Just want it golden brown. So we start roasting that. Someone asked me yesterday for the recipe for idli batter. I had posted it. Please do try it. You all can see it in the comment section. Yesterday's video I posted the recipe for how to make nice fluffy idlis. The batter can be easily made at home, stored in the fridge for at least 3 days, and that batter is a universal batter. You can make dosas out of it, you can make uttapams, you can make appam, you can make idlis. So it's a nice versatile batter. Do give it a try. See, now it's starting to sizzle a bit. Can you hear it? So you know it's happening. Okay. And the aromas are fantastic. All buttery and nutty all at the same time. Now when it's just about to change color, at this point, see it has become darker, right? So this is ready to go. So we take that out in the same bowl, and little bit try and we are taking the residual ghee out of the vermicelli first, so that we can roast the rest of the veggies and masalas etc. in it. Okay, so we take that out. Done. See how it's changed color and it's become very nutty or aromatic. Immediately with food, immediately you can get to know when it's starting to cook, because you will get the whiff, you will get all the aromas, the beautiful smells, the moment, and of course if you've overdone it also, you will get the smell. So you know when it's just right. Okay, so now what we do is start putting in all the veggies. First things first, onions. Onions go in. All of that. And again, take every bit of it, no wastage. Food is very precious. And one thing also, this is one thing I'm very against, is wasting. So I do one very, it's a very nice thing to do, I'll tell you. all the peels that I have. So what we do is first we wash all the veggies, right? So you wash the onions. Today, like I've taken carrots and beans, I've taken potatoes, onions. So you wash everything thoroughly and then you start cutting it. So the peels that are left over, please do not discard it. There's a lot of flavor in the peels. You know, this idea I got from one very popular show on TV, which I watch extensively, Master Chef. So the Australian version, they had a episode, and in that episode the contestants had to make a dish out of leftovers. I mean the peels and discards, what we discard normally. Okay, so I got the idea from there, and what now I do is all the peels, now the potatoes are going in, guys, the potatoes. So what I normally do is the peels that are left over, I'll just show you, it's there in my freezer. I'll show it to you how I keep it. So all the peels that are left over, since they are nicely washed, thoroughly washed, the ends of the beans, the top of the carrot, when we are peeling the carrot, the peel of the carrot. So the potatoes are just kind of browning a bit. So we let that start cooking, and till that time I'll show you that the peels that I have kept. Just wait. See, in a big packet like this. So there are apple peels, as you can see. There are spinach stalks, you know, the thicker stalks which you can't really use in cooking, the thicker ones, potato peels, onion peels. So since they are all nicely washed, what I do is I keep them like this, and you can stuff them in the freezer and they will stay for 2 to 3 months. Now as and when I need, makes the best stock, vegetable stock, best. So if you want like to make a soup, or you want to, like that day I made a noodle soup, or if like today I'm using water for this dish, suppose. So if you don't want to use water, if you have a lot of peels accumulated, put it in a pot, put a little bit of butter, put it in a pot, give it a quick nice saute, because all this is frozen, so it will kind of sizzle and it will saute very well in the pan. Put a little salt, put a little pepper and a whole lot of water, and cover it and let it simmer away for at least half an hour. It is the best potent, aromatic and strong stock that you'll get. So use it for your soups, use it for your dishes that we are making, the one pot recipes, everything that is using water, you can go ahead and use the stock. Okay, so I'll keep this back and come, and then we'll get on with the recipe. So again, wastage is one thing that I feel very strongly about. So things that can be used should be used. Of course, there are things which you just cannot use. And garlic peels also, the garlic, the outer peel also, that also you can put in this. That also will give it a nice flavor. Things that you cannot use are fine. I mean, don't. But things that are nice and you can use, please do not waste. Wastage should be minimum as you can make it to be in your kitchen and everyday life also. So that is that. So the potatoes are just about happening. At this point, again, you put in the carrots and the onions so that they can start cooking a bit. And to help it cook, yes, you're right, salt. So a little bit of salt, quarter teaspoon now I'm putting, and then we'll taste as we go. Okay. So now that is happening. Now we put in, with it I've taken around half a cup of peanuts. As you can see, I'm going to put half of that. So 1/4 I'm going to put now and roast it with the veggies. So that they cook with the vermicelli. And these are roasted peanuts in any case. I bought it from the store, and you get roasted peanuts, which looks like so. So you get these roasted peanuts in the market. So I got it roasted already. So I'm not using raw peanuts. If you do have raw peanuts, just dry roast them. Keep it in a jar and keep using it for your cooking. And there's a very nice chutney that is made in India with the peanuts. So what you do is you take equal amounts of peanuts, garlic, and dried red chilies. Okay, the dried red chilies, what you do is you soak it in vinegar for a bit, for say 15 minutes. So it kind of soaks in the vinegar, and then what you do is you take these three ingredients, the peanuts, there are three things: peanuts, garlic, and dried red chilies. Three things. So you take that in a blender, put a tad bit of water, and give it a nice mix. So that this thing is a peanut chutney, and then you take a little bit of oil in your pan and just temper it. That chutney again. So see, I'm giving you tips so that your life becomes a little easier. Make these things and keep in your fridge. So as you're going along, you can keep using it, and it just makes cooking so much more delightful and easy when you have these things handy. Like suppose, for example, like I have this garlic and ginger paste handy because I do make a big batch and keep. Okay, so it's easier. No, every time you don't have to keep grinding it, and every time you don't have to keep going through that this thing. So it's easy. Just make a big batch and it does last. So keep using it. Life is easy. Cooking is easy. So now this is going in. The ginger garlic paste, 1 teaspoon, and similarly with the green chili paste, I take a whole lot of green chili, grind it, put oil in a pan, as I told you for the onion and for the garlic and ginger also, as much ginger garlic paste, as much oil, similar, okay, exact amount. So for the green chili paste also, you grind the green chilies, fresh green chilies, take the stalks out, grind it, and you take a pan like so, put oil, so equal amount. If you have a cup of green chili paste, you take a cup of oil. Okay, and you kind of shallow fry it for a bit, and once the oil starts separating, you know it's done. So this is how it will look, and you keep it in the fridge, easy. So you don't have to go through that, every time. So you make these things, please try them, make these things, keep it in your fridge, makes life simpler, it's easier to cook with, and you know why, when something can be done to help you and make your life easier, we must give it a try. No? Chilies. It does hit you, so be careful, huh? Because I'm talking to you, it kind of, I breathe in the entire thing, so don't talk when you're doing this. Okay, spinach, and at this point we just taken the tomatoes. Now we don't need the entire thing, we just about take say 3 to 4 spoons. Now again, this tomato paste that I have made and kept, this can be again stored. So what you do is you take your ice tray, make this, just blend it like this, the tomatoes, and and put it in the ice cube tray, and they become frozen. So that's your this thing ready. Tomato puree for later use. Whenever you want to use it, just take out a cube, how much ever you need, 1, 2 cubes, whatever, how much ever, and put it, thaw it in the micro for a minute. Now the gas should be on a medium at this point. Doing this with the green chilies. My mother-in-law just passed. Poor thing. Sneezing away. see, now it will start, it has moisture still in it. The tomatoes, it's going to cook. And keep roasting it till the moisture is completely dried up. Give it a little help, little bit more of water. And as you can see, I'm not using very complicated spices in any of the dishes. Simply because veggies and the ingredients and should be cooked with patience, with love. Give it a little time, and that is what brings out the flavor of everything, of the dishes, of the vegetables, of the tomatoes, whatever, the ginger, the garlic, everything. It will bring out the flavor once you give it a little time and be patient and roast it. So what happens is, it's not necessary to put in a whole lot of masalas and to make the dish flavorful. Simple masalas, as you can see, I normally use only salt, little bit of chili, lemon juice, ginger, garlic I use extensively. Because it is immunity boosters. As I told you, a whole lot of vitamins, and it helps you fight a congestion. It is a prebiotic. So use these things, but it's not necessary to get complicated with food. Simple, tasty food is what we are trying to achieve, so that it's simple for everybody to make. And I would urge everybody who feels that cooking is difficult, please try these recipes. They're very, very simple, just roughly chopped. You don't have to be artistic also about it. You can just chop it anyhow and it works. Okay, so now it's done. As you can see, the moisture is completely dried up. Veggies are all coated with the tomatoes. Now we put in the vermicelli. Okay, the roasted vermicelli. We put the entire thing and okay, so that goes in, and just give it a good mix. And see, how nice and colorful. So as I told you, we eat with all our senses. See how pretty. Nice colors. All orange, green, browns, yellow. Lovely. Right? Looking pretty already. So the first sense is happy. Second sense went a little crazy today, since I was breathing in all the green chili paste, and the whiff of that made me go a little nuts. It's still happening, as you can see. So be very careful not to keep talking while you're making this particular dish, because all the... And as I told you, not to put in the lime juice or anything tart in the pan and cook it. So we put this at the end, so that all the goodness of the lime juice stays intact. Now this is all amalgamated. It's all gotten married to each other, as I say. At this point, now water. Now vermicelli, I'll give you a very nice one or two things I'll tell you. So we had taken around half a cup of vermicelli, so 1 cup of water. Simple. Now turn the gas to a high. Let it come to a furious boil. Okay. Like similar to rice. So basically it should be just about covering the vermicelli in your pan. Okay, the water just about covering. So that should be ideal. So if you take half a cup of vermicelli, 1 cup of water is the trick. So now what we are going to do is at this point we wait for it to come to a boil, and then be careful. It is hot and you are going to sweat in the kitchen. We don't want any of these things going into the food. We need salt to make it salty, not a sweat. So, okay. So, keep a tissue or a handkerchief handy so that you can keep wiping yourself. Since I have to be talking to you a lot, will you excuse me for 1 second and if I have a sip of water, because that green chili is irritating me a little bit. Yeah, now I think I should be better. Thank you guys. Okay, so now this has come to a furious boil. And at this point, now we just put the lid on, turn it to a low, okay, and wait for it to do its thing. It will keep cooking, so it would take around 5 minutes. Put it on simmer. Okay, I'll put it on the back burner for you so that I can show you the drink for today. Now the drink for today is also an amazing thing. As we are using cumin, it's an excellent spice for digestion. As I told you, cumin, any kind of problems you have with heartburn, or if you just have this cumin water, again what you can do is you can, like yesterday how we made the tea, so take a good amount of water, put a whole lot of cumin seeds in it and let it keep boiling away for till the time the liquid becomes half. Strain it in a nice jar and keep it, and the entire day at room temperature you can keep sipping it. Very good for people who have digestive issues. It's excellent. Give it a go and I'm sure you will be happy. So while that is simmering away on the back burner, let's get down to the drink for the day. So cumin cooler. So over here, I have taken a few masalas for the cooler. I'll tell you. Cumin, 2 teaspoons. Okay. Rock salt, I have taken around half a teaspoon. And pink salt. Can you see this? Pink salt. Okay. So you just break that down and it will dissolve in water. So that I have taken. Dry mango powder, amchur we call it in India. So I have taken a bit of that. And I've say half a teaspoon and half a teaspoon of black pepper. So again, let me repeat it for you. Okay. So that you remember. And this masala is also called chaat masala. So you make again. See, I make things and I share things with you so that you can make these in batches and keep it for your daily use. So cumin seeds, cumin powder, dry mango powder, rock salt, pink salt and pepper. 5 things. Okay. Cumin powder, dry mango powder, rock salt, pink salt and pepper. 5 things. Mix it in almost equal quantities. Rest of the things are equal quantities. Only rock salt and pink salt have to be half. So 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5, 1/5. The salt, the 2 salts should be in equal quantities so that it makes 1/5. Basically. So that being said, now you keep this in a jar. Suppose we are making I had made a chas one day, that cooler with curd, or if you're just eating curd in a bowl, just sprinkle this on top. If you're having some kind of salad, sprinkle this on top and it gives you that tangy nice flavor and it's yummy. It makes everything delicious. If you're making fritters, sprinkle it on top. French fries, sprinkle it on top. Anything. Okay, so this masala goes for all that. Make a batch, keep it. Okay, so life is becoming easier. with all these things in your kitchen, handy, ready to use whenever you want to. So for this cooler, we've taken this masala. And another thing that I do make and keep a lot. Today I'm talking a lot about preserving, why? Just because it makes it easier, nothing else. It's not like, but every day if you have to go through making the masalas or dry roasting the cumin seeds and then powdering it, can you imagine doing it every day? Make batches of these and keep simple masalas, but helps you a lot. Okay, so we do that. To this masala, I'm going to add this paste. Now this paste is again mint leaves and coriander leaves, equal quantity, and half the amount of ginger. So again, you put a dash of water, blend it to a smooth paste like so. Okay, and what I do is I freeze it. I keep it in a jar, a stainless steel or a plastic, whatever you have handy. Put it in a jar and put it in the freezer. So now whenever you want it, take out a bit, thaw it, and you're ready to go. Or put it in a Ziploc also, just bash it up a little bit, break a piece, thaw it, and that's your chutney ready. So this chutney will also be used on, I use it a lot on sandwiches, it's yummy. When you're making, as I said, fritters, use this as a dip. Mix it in hung curd, use it as a dip. And it's lovely. It gives it a very nice aroma and flavor. So now we've mixed the paste of mint and coriander with all the masalas. Okay, give it a nice mix. Now I'm going to make it two ways. I like it like this, tart, but my husband likes it with sugar, sweet and salt. So I'm going to make both the ways and show you. So now it's been 3 minutes, I think, with the vermicelli. So I switch off the gas at this point and let it sit. As I told you, with any one pot recipe, let it sit. Do not open the lid, do not touch it, do not do anything to it, just let it sit there and rest. Okay, it's done its thing, it deserves a little bit of rest before we devour it. Okay, so this masala now, see, it's become like a paste like so. Can you see? Okay, so to this now, we add a little bit of grated ginger. I've grated a little bit and kept. So little bit of that I'm going to add. Give it that ginger hit also. And as I told you, it's a fabulous immunity booster. Ginger, it's too good. Too good for a cold, for a cough, for a congestion, for an upset stomach, for a stomach ache. Just ginger is an amazing spice. So please use it. Lemon juice. We will use it in the vermicelli, but a dash of it, because I don't need 3, so little bit, half a spoon worth, 1 small teaspoon I'm putting in this mix, in the drink mix, okay? So 1 small teaspoon like that, I mix in the mix of the drink. Mix, okay? So for the chutney, like you preserve the mint and the coriander, you take it out, thaw it, and you put a little salt, put a little sugar, and it's ready to go. For the dip also, hung curd, put this chutney, put a little salt, put a little sugar. If you like, don't put sugar, put honey, and your dip is ready. You can put a little bit of coriander leaves on top, and your dip is done. Eat it with your french fries, eat it with your fritters. Very refreshing, very aromatic, and it's lovely. It makes everything, super tasty. So now water. So I'm making 2 glasses. So enough water for that. Okay. I'll need more water. I'll just get it 1 second. Water. Some more water. Okay. So 2 glasses we are going to make. Now what we do is first see the salt in this, whether it's right or not. So if you want, then we can. Nice and tangy and yummy. Okay. So now glass is out. As I told you, one I'm going to make sweet and one I'm going to make for myself without any kind of sweetener because I like it like this. And a very famous street food which we have in India, Pani Puri. In West Bengal, where I live in Kolkata, it's called Puchka, it's called Golgappa in another state. And this is the water. Okay, so for Pani Puri. So this is also the Pani Puri masala, remember. 5 things I told you: cumin powder, rock salt, pink salt, dry mango powder and pepper. Mix this, keep it, dump it like so in water. If you have the mint and coriander paste, it's fine. If you don't have it, this is ready to go as it is. And that is the Pani Puri water. It's excellent for digestion, guys. I'm really telling you, and so cooling for the summers. You know, gives you a nice. So 3 spoons of sugar, teaspoons, small teaspoons. Okay. So for my husband, we take a ladle now, and I will pour it in the glasses. So my ladle, big ladle. So I take that, give it a mix first. Okay, so I'm pouring it over the sugar, and because again it has lemon juice and it is tart, the sugar is going to start dissolving in it. Okay, and for myself now, without the sugar. There you go. So peanuts, as I told you again, so today what we spoke about was peanuts. Very high in biotin, folic acid. It has good fats. It will give you a boost of energy in the morning. Please do put it on your toast. Have a lot of peanut butter, natural peanut butter, good for you. So equally distributed so that nobody can say that I had more than I. Now that should not be done, na? You start shouting. Okay. So this was the one for me. Now for my husband, I'll decorate it a little bit. And to differentiate, of course, so I know with sugar, without sugar. Okay. So for my husband and for myself. Cheers! Nice and cooling. And excellent for digestion. Cumin water, as I told you, take a pot of water, put in cumin seeds, let it boil till the time it's half, strain it, put it in a bottle, in a jar, and keep sipping it throughout the day at room temperature. Excellent for your digestion. Excellent, and very cooling also for the summers. Okay, so my pan is back again. It was resting away till the time I was making the drink, so it's been roughly around 5 minutes. So should we open it and just take a peep? Done. Guys, it's done. So now, give it a mix. See, it's all become soft and it's soaked up all the... I'll just plate it up and show it to you. Soaked up all the flavors and the tomatoes, and see how lovely, slurpy. Have you seen? It becomes like this, nice and soft. So that, a bit of the roasted peanuts on top, and a bit of the coriander leaves on top. Ready to serve. Okay, so let's taste. Give it a taste. Let's see for the seasoning. Hot. Done. Guys, I request you, please, all my dear friends, to please give it a try. It's an excellent dish. And you can easily, just as easily eat it for breakfast, lunch or dinner. And write to me, ask me what you want me to tell you. If you have any queries, feel free to comment. I will answer back. And I'll see you tomorrow with another great recipe. Have a good day, and until we meet again, namaste.